Good afternoon to you. You're with Newsfirst lunchtime news bulletin. I'm Saturang Hapuarachi. Let's take a look at your headlines first.
Interim report on missing persons to be handed over to the President today. Unidentified body of an individual discovered in the Devanna Oya. A suspect hangs himself to death at the Jaila police cell. Israel Prime Minister Netanyahu claims victory following exit polls.
For those stories in detail, a group of parliamentarians staged a protest today opposite the central bank, demanding that the investigations launched into the latest bond issue be expedited.
We need to speak to the Deputy Governor of the Central Bank and remove Mahindran from his position. He should resign from his position. No investigations are needed for this matter. All details that have been revealed are sufficient. If he has self-respect, he should leave his post. When compared with the rest of the complaints that have been lodged with the Bribery Commission on scams, this one is a far greater fraud to the entire country. Large-scale financial fraud has taken place. What we have to say is that we have revealed this fraud to the country, and now it's time that an independent investigation be launched, and we request that legal action be taken against persons in connection to these scams.
A public rally was organized by the Janata Vimukti Peramuna held in Thunwalda, Hanwalda.
Lanka nommarege badu tika inne oya Devanna oya ඇතුලේ තමයි. ඇත්තටම ඒකෙන් ඉඳන් මේ පාර්ලිමේන්තුව
It is the truth. So do not expect this parliament to implement a law which will prosecute themselves as criminals. These 100 days will be a transitional period. Within this transitional period, the executive presidency should be abolished as promised to the people. If they are going to be jailed, that should not be shown on the media, because they become instantly famous when they are arrested. I am afraid that even Velesuda might contest for the election.
The interim report compiled by the Presidential Commission to investigate into complaints regarding missing persons is to be handed over to President Maithripala Sirisena today.
The Commission's chairman Maxwell Parnagama said that the report will consist of the observations and the current progress of the investigation. He added that the Commission has received nearly 20,000 complaints. Maxwell Parnagama went on to know that the evidence regarding the missing persons in the Ampara district will be evaluated during the first week of April.
The epidemiology unit of the Ministry of Health says that 800 persons with rat fever were identified during the last few months. Director of the unit, Dr. Pabaha Paliyavarana, says that Colombo, Gampaha and Kalutara districts of the Western Province have been identified as districts where rat fever is spreading.
Rat fever can be identified as a contagious disease. It spreads with a bacteria emanated from the urine of rats. When the bacteria enters the human body, the disease infects the individual. In case of dengue, it is spread through mosquito bites. However, fever and body ache are common symptoms in both diseases. Therefore, it is difficult to identify the two diseases separately. Those who work closely with water are more likely to be infected with rat fever. The bacteria can enter the human body through small scratch wounds on the skin.
Minister Partli Champika Ranawaka says that it is an admirable fact when children are enrolled to schools devoid of religion, race or social status.
ඒක ඊටාම වැදගත්. දැන් සමහර රටවල් වල පාසල් වලට
It is important to know that education has no race or religion. In some countries, certain kinds of societies aren't affiliated with. We know that sometime back in our country, prior to a child being enrolled to a school, there were issues concerning their religion. However, that issue has been relaxed up to a certain extent, as the social status of people have developed up to a certain extent as well. Education is the only doorway for our children to progress in their journey of life, but the only disappointment are the children who use this doorway and move forward and then leave the country. Nevertheless, that doorway should not be closed. We must strengthen free education. It is because of that the country is in the way it is now.
නමුත් මේ දොර අපි වැසිය යුතු නෑ. මේ දොර නිදහස් අධ්‍යාපන දොර පුළුල් කරිය යුතුයි. මොකද මේ රට මේ තත්ත්වෙන් හෝ පවතින්නේ එම නිසයි.
This event was held to donate scholarships to the children of employees at the Ceylon Petroleum Corporation.
Now, the Minister of Irrigation and Agriculture, Duminda Disanayake, says that it is important that his ministry progresses based on the requirement of the country rather than the public opinion.
A program to create awareness on the 5-year plan of the Department of Agriculture Exports was held yesterday. The event, which was held at the Plant Genetic Resource Centre in Gannorua, was presided by Minister of Irrigation and Agriculture, Duminda Disanayake.
මේ යහපාලන ආණ්ඩුවේ හොඳම අමාත්‍යාංශය වෙන්න අපට අවශ්‍ය නැහැ. ජනප්‍රියම අමාත්‍යාංශය වෙන්න අපට අවශ්‍ය නැහැ. අපට අවශ්‍ය
We do not want to be the best ministry or the most popular ministry in this government of good governance. What is it that we do need? We need to be a ministry that does the right thing. Because everyone wants to be popular in politics. Through that popularity, they want to win the votes and come to parliament. That is where we have all gone wrong. This is the reason our country is not moving forward in the speed that it should. I do not want this ministry to be run according to Duminda Disanayake or the Deputy Minister. What we want is to move forward according to a proper mechanism to the requirement of the country.
රටේ අවශ්‍යතාවයට නියම ක්‍රමවේදයක් යටතේ ප්‍රතිපත්තිත් එක්ක ඉස්සරහට යන්නයි අපට අවශ්‍ය කරන්නේ.
Now, a body has been found in the Diyawanna Oya in Madivela in close proximity to the entrance of the parliamentarians' official residence. According to the police media unit, the body was recovered based on a tip-off. The identity of the deceased has not been revealed as yet, and the magisterial inquest into the incident is underway. In more local news, a suspect arrested for heroin possession has committed suicide inside a cell at the Jayala police station.
The police media unit reported that he was arrested along the Ekala route last night. They added that the 38-year-old individual hung himself using his clothing. He had previously been arrested on several occasions for the possession of drugs. The police media unit added that his body is currently lying at the Jayala hospital.
The stakeholders meeting on the capacity building of Sri Lanka's export credit insurance industry was held in Colombo yesterday. The event was graced by the Minister of Finance, Ravi Karunanayake.
The government would like to ensure that our exporters are able to freely export to any part of the world. And when you are doing so, that without any fear that their monies will be brought back into the country. I want SLASIC to take the risk not to lend an umbrella only when there is sunshine and withdraw it when it rains. You must ensure that you are able to insure the countries that we basically have a high risk area. And I would like to ensure that we popularize this with other commercial banks. The penetration is only roughly 3 to 4%. And I would like to see within the next 2 years that this moves to about at least 25%. Because otherwise you will be failing in your duty. Reduce the premiums, increase the participation, and ensure that we will be able to export to countries we never thought of.
Minister Arjuna Ranatunga says that he is currently collecting all the reports against wrongdoers and will implement the law against them.
We cannot disclose all the information regarding the investigations, but investigations are underway. We will keep the media informed of the actual state of all investigations in the near future. What we are trying to do is to compile the correct reports on the wrongdoers and implement the law accordingly. That is the difference between us and them. We will not allow anyone to take our aeroplanes unless they pay the money.
With that, we wrap up this edition of Lunchtime News. Please do join us again at 1:55 as we keep you on the know of the very latest. For everyone here at News First, I'm Chaturanga Hapuarachi.